Welcome to already the 12th part of my brand review series, and today we're talking about ADEPT Cosmetics. And since ADEPT Cosmetics just very recently launched the beautiful Samarian Sunset palette, which looks like this on the inside, we will do this brand review the same way we did it with Nomad Cosmetics. So I will talk a bit about the brand while we are doing the makeup look. By the way, I'm wearing, of course, the Samarian Sunset today because I want to do a review on that. Afterwards, we will talk about all the other products that I own from ADEPT Cosmetics, which are 4 other eyeshadow palettes. And then we will cover all the drama. And let me give you a spoiler. The drama is fucking real on ADEPT Cosmetics. Like, what the heck are you doing? Don't you have any kind of people who are telling you, come on kid, behave? But we will talk about that later. So now let's head into this eye look. Okay, let's head into the tutorial with this new beautiful palette. I just want to tell you that this is probably the most beautiful ADEPT palette that has come out yet. Let's just be honest. We will talk about the other palettes that I have too, but when it comes to this mix of mattes and this special multi-chrome formula from ADEPT, the Samarian Sunset is, just from looking at it, I haven't touched it yet, my favorite so far. And I'm starting this look with Positronic Net. Take this on a fluffy brush and apply this as transition shade. So ADEPT Cosmetics was actually founded only in 2017. That means the brand is only 6 years old. It's quite a new brand to the market, and it's an Asian-owned indie brand. The investors are named Tom and Sandra, and they both do their full-time jobs and shit because they have no investors, so they work full-time and do this brand just as their passion. I'm now going into Delta Quadrant. If I pronounce that correctly, I just Google it. And I apply this basically in the crease and a little bit in the transition area. That shade goes on a bit weird, I have to say. Well, if I add more, I can correct that. Just normal behavior here. According to their website, they do not test on animals. They're against animal testing. I think they're even certified cruelty-free and just animal test free. And they also do a lot of upcycling with their packaging and palettes. And they also stated that in over 40% of their palettes, they do have a second-hand mirror built in when it is possible, which I think is actually quite cool, I have to say. I'm going over the edges with a fluffy brush again just to smooth it out a bit. I'm now going into Darmok. By the way, I'm not a fan of Star Trek, and this palette is inspired by Star Trek, and the Samarian Sunset is apparently something that's happening there, so I have actually no freaking clue. And if I pronounce those names wrong and you're a Trekkie, please don't come at me, please. Maybe instead of coming at me, you can tell me in the comments what exactly a Darmok is. What the fuck? But I apply this shade on the outer part to get a little bit of darkness. I have to admit I am missing a bit of a dark matte here. Could be a dark green or a dark orange. Even though we have different shades, they are all in the same like depth level, and I need something dark in my palettes. I think it balances out any look, but you know, we can work with whatever we have here. And I think by now you know how I do my makeup. I apply a thin layer of glitter glue now all over the eye, because it does not matter what brand it is. It could be Pat McGrath, Natasha Denona, ADEPT, Blend Bunny, Glam Light. It does not fucking matter. To me, glitter glue just is an essential in my routine every single day. And I have to use obsidian order. Okay, the thing with multi-chromes is it is nearly impossible to capture that on camera, so let me just try to describe this. When you see this palette maybe on pictures, you might think that obsidian order, this one in the second row, the first, and Praxis next to it, they might look very similar in pictures because they both shift pink, yes, but Obsidian Order also has a gold shift and a red shift, while Praxis next to it has pink and light green. Can we please, just for a second, admire this? And I take this obsidian outer shade. Oh yeah. And I apply this on the outer part, basically on top of the Darmok shade and a bit in the center. It does not matter, in my opinion, what palette from ADEPT Cosmetics you might use. My greatest tip for this formulation that they have is do not smash your brush in. They have a very weird texture to them that makes them super opaque and super pretty, but also very, very soft to the touch. So when you smash your brush in too hard, you might end up with flakes, which is not what we want. I'm now tapping into Paklet, I think, P-A-K-L-E-D, Paklet. It is this nice orange, and I think this is not a typical ADEPT multichrome. This looks a bit different. And I apply this on the inner part and the rest of, this is so pretty. So on the ADEPT Cosmetics website, they do have a certain statement about modern slavery. And I have to admit that I have never seen something like that on a brand's website. So for the lower lash line, I'm going into Tanagra, whatever. And where was I? I had to stop filming because we had some people here doing stuff. And now I just have to remember. But I think the last thing I talked about was the modern slavery statement. And if you don't know what exactly that means, and the definition is basically the term modern slavery covers a set of legal concepts including forced labor, debt bondage, and human trafficking. It's an umbrella term to refer to situations of exploitation that an individual cannot refuse or leave because of threats, violence, deception, or abuse of power. And ADEPT Cosmetics did something that, as I said, I never heard before from any brand. They hired a third party, basically inspector or investigator from France, who had the task to basically inspect and investigate any part of their supply chain outside of US. I'm now using Jalad, or it's like salad but with a J. I don't know what that is. But it's a light pastely yellow somehow. And I used this to blend out the lower lash line a bit, just to make it smooth. On their website, they have a statement that I just want to read to you because I think it's very, very different. And when we talk about the drama, I have to say, I don't really know what to think about that. Okay, they say, although we do not manufacture our own products, we personally assess and purchase our own raw materials that go into our finished product. We recognize the potential risk of forced labor in the production of agriculture-based raw materials used in our products, such as mica and soybean. In addition, extra care is put to every product to obtain DRC conflict-free certified mica when applicable. Yeah, you know what I mean. I think in general, this is a good thing. If you search or if you dive into how ingredients like mica is done, or how they produce mica, you might be a bit surprised on how nasty that is. I do think it's a good sign that the brand does speak out against that and that they do everything that is possible for them to control that or to be in charge of that, because they do not produce their own mica, but they buy mica. By the way, I'm now using Tal Sha'ir, which is this beautiful holographic. Oh, I love holographic eyeshadows. The thing is, with the texture of ADEPT shadows, you often end up using too much because they have a weird texture, as I said. But let's now just apply this on the inner part and, as usual, also in the crease. Okay, so let me finish now my face, and then I come back and we will start talking about the other products that I own from the brand. And for the last part of the video, we are going to cover the drama. Alright, this is now the finished look. Please ignore the messy hair. So, before I tell you my thoughts on the Samarian Sunset, let's talk about the other 4 ADEPT Cosmetics palettes that I actually have. So the first palette that I ever tried and that actually got my interest is the Minka palette. This is a 12 pan palette that has two mattes over here, which is a lilac and a dark purple. And the other 10 shades are duochrome metallics. I was completely stunned by the swatches that I saw, and then I finally caved in, bought it, and I was completely disappointed in that. And to be honest, the reason is the texture, because besides these two shimmer shades, everything else is in this weird texture that I like to describe as a dried up metal paint. It is flaky, it goes on hard. You really have to work with it to make it work. And that was just something that completely pissed me off. I then put it down to a test, used it for a week straight, and just tried to form a proper opinion on it. Now that I know how to use this correctly, I love this palette. I still think that it is not the best palette from ADEPT Cosmetics that has ever been released, because the texture, as I said, is a bit of a fuzzy moment, but when you figure it out how to use it, it's a beautiful addition to the collection. And so many people, after I did my review on the Minka, told me I should try the Plain Jane palette, and they have a remastered version, and you can already see it. Every eyeshadow pan in here has a completely different texture. It is this smooth, like borderline velvety feel of eyeshadows, and they go on much easier. I absolutely enjoy the Plain Jane. This is such a masterpiece of an eyeshadow palette. I am very happy that I got this one. And again, this is the remastered version. Then we had a limited edition palette last year that is inspired by a TV show, and even though I never saw the TV show, I'm pretty sure it's Arrow, like Arrow. This is the ADEPT Cosmetics inspired palette, and this is basically the same format as the Samarian Sunset. We have a row of matte eyeshadows and 2 rows of shimmers, and oh fuck me, isn't this beautiful. First of all, I like this 15 pan palette design where you have a full row of the cohesive mattes. And here I have the same critique as I said with the Samarian Sunset. I'm missing a bit of a depth moment, because I do have this dark tealish green that I can use, yes, but the looks will end up looking the same because it's just a green, dark green. With the ADEPT Cosmetics, I'm honest, usually I'm not a fan of that, but I wish they had a black, because a black would change everything in this palette. Other than that, I think it's a beautiful palette. You might think that some of these shades are repetitive. They truly aren't, because the shift is different in all of them. The summer release of this year was the Seahorse palette, and this is a €150 palette because this is filled with pastel multichromes. This is my favorite ADEPT Cosmetics palette. I haven't even used every single one of them, but this is my favorite. Looking at it makes me so happy. I get so inspired, and all I want to do now is tap into 3 of those shades and slap them somewhere around my face. I think this is beautiful. I think this is also sold out at the moment. Or was it limited? No, I think this is not a limited edition. I don't know. I'm not sure about that. But I love it. If you can spare the extra money or have discount codes, because there are like codes that you can have. I saw when I researched all the infos that you can also subscribe to the mail list and then you get discount codes. This is beautiful. This is worth the investment in my opinion. And as I said, the newest one is Samarian Sunset. This palette, okay. Maybe the look that I did today is not really giving it. I hate this word, but I think this is the right to describe this. Let me just check in the mirror. By the way, can we please ignore my hair today, because I just want to color it in and it looks super messy. I like the vibe that it's going on, but I think my color choice was a bit poor. Combining Obsidian Order with Parklight, which basically are both warm oranges somehow because of the shift in Obsidian Order, was probably not the best decision I made. So I had some troubles getting these together because it kind of looked dirty in the center, but I also didn't want to add another shade because I thought it might interrupt everything. The mattes perform nice. I had a bit of a problem with this brownish red, yes, but when I went over it a second time, it worked fine. I saw a lot of people saying that these shadows crease very, very bad, and I have to admit they crease faster than other eyeshadows that I own. But that is actually due to their base. Whatever is in their base, whatever makes these formulations so creamy and so intense is maybe a bit too much inside. I already see on my left eye, and the application of this is like maybe an hour or an hour and a half ago, how there are already cracks, and in this eye I have these cracks too. I don't mind that because usually I don't walk around like that. I walk around like that. I also wear glasses, so nobody is able to see this. It cracks exact on those parts of my lid that like get folded when I open my eyes. So you might see this when I look down, you might see this when I blink a bit longer than usual, but you cannot see this in the normal interaction between people. But yes, they do crease a bit faster than others, even though I use eyeshadow primer and glitter glue. You know, that, let me tell you that is even though I use them. Usually nothing creases with those two, but these are a bit of a special formulation. Completely forgot to apply a lip product. Why haven't you told me? Besides eyeshadow palettes, ADEPT Cosmetics also has liquid eyeliner that are like glittery and very beautiful. And they also have face palettes, single eyeshadows, and they're like infinity stacks, which are basically magnetic palettes that you can stack on top of each other. You know, in my videos, I always cover the drama. And let me tell you, I needed a blanket after I was done researching the drama, and I managed to basically find out 4 different big dramas that have been going on with ADEPT Cosmetics. And to be honest, I just want to point out the same thing I did when I talked about Patrick Ta last week. For a brand that has been in business for only 6 years at this point, and Patrick Ta is only 4 years, this is a lot. Like, what the hell is going on with you? But let's just talk about them. So the first drama that I came across is the email drama. I gave them just names. So basically the owner stated on Instagram that she does not believe in emails, and therefore she doesn't answer emails. Why did that come up? Because people ordered something from the website and for no reason they got an info that their order was cancelled. They contacted the customer service and nobody responded. So they started asking on the Instagram posts, and then the response of ADEPT Cosmetics was that she does not answer emails because she does not believe in them. I just want to point out that this email incident happened 2 years ago, and in the same thread where I found all these infos, a lot of people also stated their positive experiences and how the brand answered their emails. I get a weird vibe from that, because why should a brand do that? I mean, I'm always in the position like, don't believe everything that's on the internet, because a lot of people do exaggerate what actually happens. And I'm not here to protect the brand or to protect the person or to protect whatever. All I'm saying is that I don't believe everything that is on the internet, and I don't believe every drama that is going on. So I don't know. I never had contact with them. The only thing I can say to the email thing is that a couple weeks or month ago, they had a Instagram story up where they were asking people if they want to participate in the launch of the new palette, which was the Samarian Sunset. And they basically said that everybody can apply through email to get this palette sent and to produce content for them, paid content. So basically they were looking for creators for paid partnership. And I wrote 2 emails to them, one as my application, the other one 2 weeks later, asking if there's any answer, and nobody actually answered. So that was a bit of a letdown, and yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just because I was not the right person for them, which is fine, but a short answer shouldn't hurt. Then we have the Reddit drama. Yes, we have an Adept Cosmetics drama that specifically happened on Reddit because, as far as I have found out from my research, the owner created a Reddit account, started to bring down and bash other indie brands for lack of quality, for shit prices, for shit service. A lot of stuff was going on there. And then by posting a TikTok link, she accidentally exposed who she is. She later then deleted her username and never posted again on Reddit, or at least not as Adept Cosmetics. Maybe she has a mysterious name, who knows. I think this has a very bitter taste. Like, this is a problematic thing. When you're an indie brand, and I totally understand that no matter if you're indie brand or if you're owned by a big mother brand or mother company, the market is hard. The market is full. It's like overfed with makeup brands, with makeup products, with formulations, with, I don't know, even with creators who want to be part of that, like me. It's just so fucking much. But that is not the reason to bash other brands. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to find the post, so I just found other posts from Reddit users where they referred to this incident. Then in the beginning of 2023, we do have the mystery box drama. I don't even remember that they announced a mystery box, but apparently they did. And in that mystery box, people got 9 products and they advertised it as 8 of them were never seen before. So like basically 9 products, 1 from the permanent line, and 8 products that are about to be released, maybe sooner or later. Then Adept Cosmetics apparently leaked the box, or like what's inside the box, before the customers got their box. Actually, okay, what's the problem with that? Personally, I would rather buy a mystery box when I know what's inside than not knowing it. But I think the much bigger problem here is that one of the items was the La Cienega or La Cienega. I don't know how to pronounce the name, but this palette was part of the mystery box. Beautiful palette, more matte than shimmer. Never try that, but I don't want to buy it. But the other 8 products were basically all the new line of liquid eyeliners. So what people bought was a complete set of liquid eyeliners plus an eyeshadow palette. That is not what a mystery box is. And I think that is like, that's okay to criticize. I think that is definitely okay. But the much bigger drama is the ableism drama. If you don't know what ableism is, it is basically hate speech, hate actions towards disabled people. A disabled customer asked to add to the website something to make things easier for blind people to navigate through the website. And because this was not very accessible to that person or to blind person in general, she or he, whatever, caused them to miss a limited edition of a palette. So that person basically then contacted the brand through Instagram saying, yeah, it would be cool if you can make your website like more accessible. And the owner basically responded in a dirty comment. Very, very, very nasty, to be honest. He basically shamed that person and told them to not buy on Adept Cosmetics and asked the question why she needs makeup because she's blind anyways. Later on, Adept Cosmetics did post an apology and made the website more accessible. Apparently, I have not checked that yet, so if you know anything about that, do it, because like I'm not blind, so I don't care for accessibility because I can't see, but I see how people who are visually or visually disabled need some help. And just because you're blind does not mean you're not wear makeup. Like, what the fuck? I'm honest with you, this is nasty. This is not okay behavior. Posting then a kind of apology is also not good. Think before you do an action. But at the end of the day, for me, and that is just what I personally think, I don't want to judge a brand's owner behavior and the brand's product in the same way, because when I do this with one brand, I need to do this with every single brand. I think it's a bit like hypocritical when you do this, when you have these standards for one specific brand, but you don't care about that for the other brand. And personally, I want to separate that. I understand when people say, this is something I don't want to support, and I respect that, of course. But please don't come at me because I still use ADEPT Cosmetics. For me, the products are beautiful. I don't have to be friends with the owner. And if I ever make my own experience with their customer service or something like that, I can get my own actions from that. I can make my own decisions on how I want to support that brand furthermore or not. But again, a lot of drama for 6 years, I think. Too much drama for 6 years, so I kind of understand how this brand just leaves a bitter taste in people's mouth. But let me know down below, what do you think about ADEPT Cosmetics? Have you ever tried them? Do you buy that? If not, is that the reason why I don't buy them? Or are they too overpriced for you? Because let's be honest, as I said, the Seahorse palette is around 150 euro. The Samarian Sunset, I paid, I think 90 bucks for it, or 85 or something like that. It's a pricey indie brand, and in terms of an indie brand, I would even call this is a high-end borderline luxury indie brand though. So I understand that when people say, oh, they're just too price intense for me, then I skip that. It's a good reason to skip because they are really pricey. Don't forget to check out the info box down below because there's like the Instagram, the TikTok, the way you can buy me slices of pizza to support my channel. But the biggest support that you can give is just following me here, subscribing and commenting. So thank you, and I will see you in the next one.